So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Currently here at the 4x4 Expo Philippines here at Parklinks, and I'm filming in the worst day possible because as you can see, I don't know, it just suddenly downpoured. It's been raining for almost 3 hours now, and I just completed all of my shoots for this car. So anyway, I'd like to thank everyone here at the 4x4 Expo and to GWM Philippines for inviting me to shoot for the all new GWM vehicles here in their tent. So what I'm currently sitting in is probably one of the most popular GWM models. This is the GWM Haval H6 HEV. So this is the supreme brand. This is one of the top of the line brands here in the Philippines, and wow, what a stunner. I mean, this color alone is really good. So here at front you get blue badges since it's now an HEV model, and the looks alone, okay, looks like a bigger brother of the Jolion itself, but I would say it still looks pretty decent for what this is. So on the side profile, it's much longer than the Jolions itself. You get black alloy wheels all around. I do love this spec already. And speaking of spec, the red as well matches here on the interior. We'll get to that in a bit. So being a compact crossover, this one is much larger too. So the boot space at the back is at 600 liters. As you can see, you can fit a lot of stuff there. And finally, when you fold all of the seats down, it extends to 1,485 liters. So you can put at least 2 or 4 more boxes, well, aka 3 balikbayag boxes. So pairing this Haval H6 is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 148 horsepower and 230 Newton meters of torque. That is just the engine alone. So if we include the electric motor, so you get a combined output of 240 horsepower and a whopping 530 Newton meters of torque. So this is one of the most powerful crossovers you can buy that's below 2 million pesos. So interesting facts too with the electric motor. I just researched it before I started shooting here. So the motor itself is a 1.8 kilowatt hour battery that produces 174 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. So you notice the figures there, it totals with the engine's torque output and the electric motor, not the power itself, sadly. But anyway, you still have 530 Newton meters of torque. So as well, this one is mated to a dedicated hybrid transmission, aka it's like a CVT transmission, but there are 2 speeds for it. So one speed compares when the car's running on electric motors alone, and then the second one with the combined output with the engine and the transmission itself. Big highlight for me with this Haval H6 is the interior itself. I mean, just look at this. So first impressions immediately, even my friends fell for it. So to be honest, this steering wheel looks exactly the same like with Range Rovers. No joke, I already sat in a Velar and a Evoque. Yeah, this looks very similar to them. So we'll be back here. So here in the door card, you get a lot of squeegee material, white stitching over here, and red leather soft pads here for your elbow, and then your window switches are right here. Yes, there's gloss black, but hey, it's fine. So here on the left side of the dashboard, you get more of the leather stuff yet again, and then you have a lot of buttons here, no blanks here, and then there's a dune cubby space over here. So back here now in the steering wheel, you get your phone connectivity buttons on the left side, and then digital and infotainment adjustments here on the right side. So first impressions, immediately the steering feels light already. And speaking of, the instrument cluster itself is pretty small, but I can read it all properly. The font's really big, and I noticed the instrument cluster is pushed further back in the dashboard, so it gives it a nice design here itself. I've not seen that in any other Chinese crossover so far. Well, I would be honest, comparing with some of the Jetours would have small screens like with the dashing, this one looks way better, just being honest. So being the supreme top of the line brand, so this one has a 12.3-inch infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the reverse camera and 360-degree camera quality is very good, I have to say. And back here in the dashboard, you get red squeegee material and then black leather over here. The quality here seems more on the premium side of things. I'm very surprised for this amount of money you get all of this already. I'll get to the price later. So further down the dashboard, you have your air conditioning controls itself, and then way further down you have a wireless charging pad, fits my phone perfectly. And then here in the center console itself, you have your rotary switch gear, electronic parking brake, auto hold function, and then 2 cup holders here on the right side with numerous adjustments too. And then here in the center console box itself, okay, there's no toys inside, but the space is very good, and it's quite deep too. And then here, glove box. Alright, that's pretty good. And then here, big highlight for me too are the seats. This is gonna be my spec if I were to purchase a Haval H6, because red color, black wheels, and then red interior. Pretty interesting. So as well to take note of, you cannot somewhat option the interior if you want, example, a red exterior color and then a white interior, but it will depend on the display in the showroom. So I've never seen that kind of options before. So anyways, at least to know, in case you want a all black interior and then a red exterior, you have to find them in a random showroom. Anyways, below the center console itself, so you have a cabin space. So here on the left side you have a USB port, and then on the right side you have another USB port and a 12-volt socket. So above here you have your sunglasses holder, your light controls, along with your panoramic sunroof button and safety reminders up here in front, and then visor, vanity mirror with 2 halogen lights. Anyway, neither of the Julian and the Canon pilots extend anyways. So yeah, that's about here in front of the, oh wait, there's the cruise control. Oh, it's a dedicated stock here on the left side, just below the indicator stock itself. So okay, little bit weird layout. And another weird layout I found, just being honest, the start stop buttons down here below, it's a little bit too far for my liking, but it's just a small nitpick anyways. So yeah, that's about here in front of this Haval H6. Let's check out the rear seats. So here now at the rear of the Haval H6, so here the door card is exactly the same like the ones in front. Squeegee, oh no, this one's plastic now. Yeah, compared to the one in front, but everything below here, the black leather with the white stitching and red leather soft pads again is, yeah, the same. So again, around the window switch, it's all gloss black again. And then space here in the back, comparing only with the Julian, this is much more spacious. So feet room and then knee room, and despite the sunroof too, I have a lot of headroom too. So good job on the design of this. So here in the back, you have 2 map pockets on either side, and then here in the middle, you have 2 air conditioning vents, and then further down, you have 2 USB ports. And then here in the middle, you have a central armrest with 2 cup holders with flimsy grips on them. And then if I sit here in the middle itself, there's a very small transmission tunnel only, but you can put your feet wherever you want. And the back's a little bit stiffer than the left and right side of the seats, but the cushions for your ass is actually as comfortable as either of them. So yeah, this interior is probably, gonna be honest, one of the best ones I've encountered in a Chinese crossover so far. So yeah, that's pretty much with the interior of this all-new Haval H6. Let's go for a drive. So this is it, driving the Haval H6. So first impressions, the engine is not off. So I forgot I'm driving a hybrid. And this specific H6 is very interesting. Look at this color here in the interior. So yet again, what I said earlier, you have very interesting choices depending on the dealer. So here, just normal mode, and it says here we're still running on EV mode. Pretty interesting. Alright, so far so good. So what happens if we put it to sport mode now? Remember, nitpick of mine only, there are no paddle shifters, but it's fine, I have to say. And then, oh wait, there's a police. So let's just try to floor it. Whoa! Wow! Okay. Of course, being a hybrid and having one of the most powerful torque figures of any crossover at the moment, yeah, this thing will skid its tires pretty quickly. And I just found out now you have a heads-up display right here in the windscreen, and then here, U-turn test. So what I noticed too from Eco, Normal, and then Sport mode while I was just flailing it around in the car park, I noticed the steering wheel is light. So of course in sport mode it will be the heaviest one, but it's still light and pretty easy to drive too, I have to say. So okay, let's do it one more time. Here, off the corner. Wow. Wow, that's so quick. Right, you can see a power meter here. So I already did like 100% of full power. Yep, so I kind of understand what everyone was talking about with the power figure. It's pretty insane. So let's calm down a bit. Let's put you back into, oh yeah, there's corner camera over here. And then let's put you back to Eco for now. So as well, fuel economy, yeah, it will vary depending on your driving. So I will not give a exact figure. Of course, I'm just driving here around in parklands. But according to Sir Fritz of the head marketing of GWM PH, so he was able to do at least around 23 kilometers per liter in the highway alone. And then here around in the city, mixed driving conditions, by the way, city, then heavy traffic, light traffic, then highway, he was able to do 19 kilometers per liter. So I see why this is one of the most popular GWM models out there. I mean, I can't blame anyone for not having to try this out. So I kind of believe what they're saying now. And as well, for being a hybrid vehicle, not plug-in, remember, this one costs 1.8 million pesos. So this is probably, I would say, one of the best bang for the buck hybrid vehicles I've tried out so far. So it literally got all the tech here already: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 360-degree camera, and as well, let's not forget, with all of the safety features here and there. Yeah, this is already a perfect crossover. So I'm very curious now on the Julian hybrid, since I've yet to drive that vehicle. But having driven the bigger brother of this Julian, and this H6 kind of suits the bill. So remember too, you get the practicality already at the, it's so spacious, and as well, I showed you earlier with the boot space too. Yeah, I see why this is as well popular in other markets, like in Australia. These have the same specs here and there. Yeah, I see why it's one of the more popular hybrid vehicles out there. So comparing only against with the, being honest, Toyota RAV4, this is like what, almost a million pesos cheaper. I'd rather have this, to be honest. I mean, the driving dynamics of this is actually even better than the RAV4. Sorry, Toyota fans, just being honest. And as well, the interior here, it's much better than the Toyotas, again, because I mean, this is a Chinese vehicle, remember, and the premium quality here and there is among one of the best ones I've tried out so far. So here at a calm pace only, so eco mode again. I like to with HEV. So when you run out of battery, the engine will just kick in and it will charge the battery itself. So I kinda understand for a market that I think this is the best drivetrain of any car at the moment, because again, it's fuel efficiency, and then you won't have to worry about your electric range anymore. And then here, I mean, there's enough battery here, so I'm just driving around 20 kilometers per hour in electric mode only. And two, there's as well regen braking. So there's three brake regeneration modes. So there's here abate, standard, and boost. So Sir Ivan told me leave it in boost. Oh yeah, look, demonstration purposes only. It's slowing down even though I'm not touching the brake. Okay, pretty impressive. So that's the 3 levels of brake regeneration. So I can understand now why he said use the abate mode, because of course boost is not bad, but abate actually slows the car down even more. So here's stop. Oh, okay, stop by itself. Pretty amazing. So comparing with its competition too, I mean, there's not much out there. Like I already mentioned one of its competitors, but yeah, this one I would say for the price of this, it really kind of sets the benchmark of how and what an HEV should be in the first place. And then as well, driving here around in the city only, it's pretty easy. Yet again, as I said, with the driving modes, Eco, Normal, and Sport. Eco is pretty light to use. Of course, Sport will wait up a little bit only, but it's still light to use nevertheless. And then brake feel too. This is what's cool too with this HEV. The brake feel does not vary from how you use the regen braking. So like other hybrid electric vehicles I've tried, sometimes it's too stiff, sometimes it's too mushy, but this one is a constant brake feel. I mean, it's stiff, but at least it's just at that constant feel only. Then eco mode, when you just floor it, okay, still pretty peppy to drive even though you're in eco mode only. So let's try. Okay, let's try again sport mode. And then U-turn, actually it's a crossover, it's pretty easy to maneuver around in the city. So again, being a hybrid electric vehicle, this would be perfect in the city. So here's sport mode. So here's sport mode one more time. Wow. And the suspension is pretty good too. Yeah, there's maybe a bit of suspension tab, but given it's a crossover, I'm willing to forgive it. So yeah, that concludes my review of this GWM Haval H6. So I'd like to thank everyone here at GWM Philippines for inviting me for the 4x4 test drive event here, and to Sir Fritz, Ma'am Josephine of GWM Alabang, and to Miss Gabe over here making all of these reviews possible. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future GWM reviews coming right up. Bye bye.